My name is Sydney, and I am an astronomy intern at Zion National Park with scientists in parks, and today we are doing a Zion autocomplete interview. How do astronomers measure the distances of stars? We actually use a phenomenon called parallax to measure the distances of stars. And parallax is something that you've probably noticed every day of your life. When you're driving in a car down the street, for example, you'll notice that things that are closer to you, closer to the road, like mailboxes and streetlights, they seem to move by faster than things that are really far away, like clouds or mountains or scenery way in the distance. We can use that same idea to measure stars. As the Earth moves around the sun, we can track how much a star appears to move throughout the sky. And combining that with the distance from the Earth to the sun, since we know what that is, we can make some calculations to figure out how far away those stars are. How do astronomers rate the magnitude of stars? So magnitude is just how astronomers measure the brightness of stars, and we can rate the magnitude or the brightness in two main ways. The first way is apparent magnitude, and that is the brightness of stars as we see them here on Earth. So in that case, distance does matter. Stars that are further away are going to appear a little less bright. We can also look at the absolute magnitude, which is the brightness of stars taking distance out of the equation. How do astronomers study stars? So astronomy is really interesting in that it's different from a lot of the other sciences. We cannot set up an experiment and control the different parts of it to see the outcomes. We have to mainly study things out in space through observation. And the main thing astronomers observe is different waves of light. So different elements absorb and emit different colors of visible light. So by seeing what colors the stars do or do not give off, we can figure out what they're made of. We can also look at X-rays, infrared, UV, all these different other waves to try to figure out what's going on with the stars. How do astronomers classify galaxies? Astronomers classify galaxies mainly by their shape. So we have, for example, elliptical galaxies, which are kind of like an oval-shaped fuzzy cloud. There are spiral galaxies, which can be further split into different classifications based on their spiral, how tight it is, if there's a bar in the middle. We also have lenticular galaxies, which are like elliptical, but the oval is a lot tighter, it's a lot clearer. And irregular galaxies, which are my favorite because they just look like blobs. How do astronomers detect black holes? So black holes are super cool. They have so much gravity, they're so dense that not even light can escape. So if we can't really see black holes, how do we figure out that they're there? The main way is by seeing how different objects react around a black hole. So there's this kind of misconception that black holes suck everything around them into them, which is actually not the case. But they do have so much gravity that anything that's orbiting a black hole kind of gets a little bit wonky in its orbit as it gets near the black hole. So by seeing how objects around a black hole behave, we can kind of pinpoint where they are. So thank you so much for answering some of the internet's most asked questions about astronomers with me, and happy International Dark Sky Week.